Good afternoon. Hi there. It is me, Angie from Learn Love Tarot. I'm going to be your spiritual stewardess today to help us navigate the incoming energy that we are surrounded by, where the planets are sitting in the cosmos, what signs they sit in, are the flavor with which we approach that lesson. And also the Sabian symbols that are associated with each of those degrees that have been divined almost 100 years ago by now. So in the description box, you will find a link to my Angi-Notes. There were 2 pages today. So I got a little teachery in there. So I do have a journal challenge for you. I hope you will say yes to that challenge and jump on in. Miss Larissa, oh my gosh, thank you guys for being here so much. I appreciate you. Hey, Miss Kathy, Larissa, those cards yesterday, I still can't believe it. Oh, you're so sweet. That is very, very kind. Thank you. But I'm getting an ear squeezy already. Those cards yesterday, I just watched back the live from yesterday. If you were able to join us, that was just crazy. And I'm cracking up right before I went on because when I was finishing that up, part of the funnies were I didn't even hear Liz say you should be a rapper or something like that. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I used to have a rapping contest every year at school just so I could win. You know how fun it is to win against 11 and 12-year-olds, but it's just funny. It's a good way to teach a summary. It's a good way to help kids with creativity. And if you're in on the fun as well, and you put a little challenge in there for them, and then, they get to smack talking about how much they're going to beat the teach. And, I honor that as well, but I have myself on film. It's been hilarious. It's my favorite time of the year. It all started because it was the day after Prince died, and I squashed my whole lesson plan. My principal jumped in with me to be my partner for the rap battle, and they had to choose these random nouns to put together these 5 words, and they had to create a story. They could either display that in writing. If they didn't have to rap it if they didn't want to. Everybody did because it's fun, right? And they got to see some Mizzo skills. So I can't believe she said that. That was so funny. And then the connection was I had already gotten Regulators as my song of the morning. And I'm like, that is weird. Okay, what in the hell does that have to do with anything? It is a favorite song. I do crank it in the summertime with my, with my top back and with the radio, with my music blazing. And it's connected to yesterday. We're mounting up. The very first phrase is mount up, Regulators. Okay. So it's about regulating ourselves within that, in the center of that fulcrum, right? And each of the north and south node is a plane. The ascendant and descendant is a plane. So think about how your 12 pie pieces are all split up into those 6 different oppositions. Where is the fulcrum? Where is the meeting in the middle? So where your fulcrum is going to be, for example, for this nodal lesson that we're wrapping up here in December, is going to depend on where that Aries and Libra sits in your own chart. So that is the life area that we have to learn how to gain independent autonomy within committed partnerships of all kinds, whatever you label that as. So I just thought that was hilarious. So I wanted to share that with you guys. I don't even know if you know the song, but if you missed yesterday's live, please go back and watch it because it was just like bam, bam, like just one thing after another where we were all vibing and flowing, and the cards were just, one supported the next, and it was just crazy fun. So Thank you for being there if you were, and thank you for watching it if you've already done that. I just wanted to start right quick with getting our angel number. It's about expansion 318. Today is December the 10th, 2024. Breaking down the 12, we have a whole month of the Hanged Man energy. So those oppositions, seeing something from a 180 in order to find that fulcrum of balance. And then today is the 10th day, the Wheel of Fortune energy. I always get the wheel in the sky keeps on turning journey. I was just having that. My ears going nuts. And then, of course, we've had a full year of that lemniscate energy where the fulcrum is in the middle. If you are a life path 8, and we're in an 8-year, boy, oh boy, that's all about balancing our outside wants and desires. And then on the other end of that, how does that internally, what are our internal wants and desires? They're not all, about what we can buy or what we can gain or what we can accrue. You've got to balance that same energy and effort that you put into gaining and accruing those things to our internal self. And our next nodal lesson coming up on 111 is going to be about balancing our spiritual life with our 3D life. So the balance of the 5D and the 3D, what does that mean? How do I incorporate these principles into my life? And how can I balance those? So without further ado, let's see what 318 is all about. Open spaces in your life for abundance to enter. Yesterday, we talked about the in-between, which is the fulcrum, something that is ending, that was some other beginning's end, right? Now we're in that center, getting ready for this next new year to start, for this next new beginning. And it's kind of getting into that closing time energy. So you can't deliver more to a cluttered mindset. Your angels are asking you to tackle some issues in your life that create imbalance. Stop it. Plan a time to, no, don't stop it. We love it. Plan a time to have a heartfelt conversation today with someone, a friend, counselor, or other trusted person in a space where you feel heard. So we did talk about our friends surrounding us. They're the ones that know our soul. We get by with a little help from our friends. There is no shame in the game of asking for help, asking for clarity, just shooting the shit. Like, I gotta get this out. And then just sometimes being like, blah, you've had those moments of, oh my God, I'm so sorry for the verbal diarrhea. And they're just like eating their popcorn, like, no, keep going. This is entertaining. Those are the friends, right? That they are just going, okay, here to listen. I'm here to drop my jaw with you. I'm here to laugh at the things that we can now laugh at that were hard at the time, to, see our ridiculousness in, and our, if we were being stubborn, regarding letting a lesson end, or seeing the lesson of what that ending was for us. So that's pretty cool. And then I wanted to grab my my Guardian of the Night tarot deck today, and all the synchronicities. So I like my animal videos. I like my little shorts on YouTube. And there was a freaking capybara. And I remember the live that you guys were helping me with. I think we had we had somebody from the UK, and I think we had Australia on as well. And I know Rebecca was like, oh, a capybara is blank. I'm like, how do y'all know this? I've never even heard of that animal in my life. And here it was, this video. It was hilarious. Like, there were literally animals riding on its back. It would ride on, the hippos as they were crossing over. I get by with a little help from my friends. Sometimes we need help crossing the river to something that we just get caught up in the flow in, right? We need that sounding board of energy. And the Page of Cups is all about sharing that love. It's about, collaboration and as we were talking about that fulcrum energy, and look, I'm gonna have to tell Liz, there's that lotus flower that this capybara is swimming towards. I mean, this is so freaking cute. I can't even stand myself. So here is the crescent moon as it is waxing towards full. We've already had that moment. We've already crossed the threshold of that first quarter moon. So it feels like this is where we were heading towards. And guess what the fulcrum is? Oh, you know, the hanged man of the month and of today. So this is an opossum. They hang from their tails, and it looks like this sun energy that we talked about too, of all the Leo Mars retrograde is all about, we are reversing our little red Corvette through the lessons of self-confidence. So where we learn to become confident in our childhood, or where we learned to kind of have some hangups that were not even ours out of fear of people that may have been trying to protect us, or fear of those that were jealous of what you were doing. And when people get into that jealous energy, that is fear. That is fear that they're missing out, that you're getting more, right? So if someone does not have support or doesn't have something nice to say about your joy, there's a good indicator that they do not belong. They're not helping you get by. They are just showing their butt. They're showing their own insecurities. They're holding up a mirror to themselves of what they are needing to heal within themselves. And when people show us their shadow, we know we are in a good place when we can remain neutral, when we are learning to pause and respond rather than react, okay? Because reacting is showing us our trigger. And we go, why are we reacting to that? We've been doing this work the whole year, guys, and you are just amazing at it. You are so strong through it. And if you were scared by it, you wouldn't even be here. So I applaud you for that. So here's our middle ground here. You don't have to go home, but we can't stay here in the middle, right? And then on the other, I just got the chills. On the other side of that page of cups is our page of wands. And there's that creative explorer energy. And we also, we also talked about messages from spirit. So yesterday was the energy of the high priestess. Today is the energy of the Empress. And I feel like, my client on Sunday asked me what my spirit animal was, and I get messages just from whatever animals are around. When I'm out on my walk, I ask what animals have to bring me a message today, and you will see them. So when you're out on a nature walk or just in the neighborhood to walk your dog or whatever it is, that is a meditative state. So that is a way for you, if we take out the earbuds and we just listen. Without listening to anything else, we're just listening to nature. We are paying attention to the signs we're receiving. We can look up the spiritual purpose or soul message of that animal. And this is a crow. I said, I guess it would be crows, because every time, especially in the summertime, and especially when I go live with you guys, if I have my back door open, those crows go batshit. They go ballistic. They love it. So I feel like this is us all kind of, gabbing together. This is that creative energy. I did get separating wheat from the chaff, I think late last week, but this is about that spark of inspiration. There's going to be a spark of inspiration on the other side of this, especially when we are helping others, when we are showing others love, and most importantly, the hanged man, that is a sign of enlightenment, right? And the opposition of that, or the balance of that, is the Empress energy, who is herself enlightened. Okay. And there's a creative spark here coming to help us. And this is through some kind of joy. Now, our climax, I talked about it on my second page of notes. I just started going into a whole side quest with how I used to teach summary. Summarizing isn't just an English skill, it's a life skill. And Jen was talking about utilizing our journal entries and listing those synchronicities as a way to look back and have confirmation of when your Empress energy, when your High Priestess energy, male or female, when it was on point. You have evidence of your own higher self working for you, working with you. She's there, he's there, it's there. Okay. Souls are just energy. That's our connection to the collective conscious. Souls just are. Okay. So we love in our human brains to categorize things. But in that, always start with the climax. So if you're facing some kind of tower right now, we do have in the foundational energy Star Seer. And I didn't even delve into that. These are the cards from yesterday. This was our Tuesday card. I only talked about the Monday card. There's that crown chakra opening. And this is our connection to the unlimited self. How can we become unlimited? Okay. We have to do that through a lens of love. And I also wrote down today, once I hit that Saturn energy, it was 13 degrees, 14 minutes. I wrote, take the steps. And I didn't know why that was. And then I went all the way through the whole how to write a summary, how to help your kids learn this life skill. It can be driving in the car and their favorite song comes on. And this is a great way to kind of sneak around that. And, because kids are like, how was your day today? Fine. It's always fine. And you never get the details. So there's a way you can sum it up for me. Give me your somebody said, but so. Have them practice with their favorite songs. Okay, so who are the characters in this song? Is there an antagonist, a protagonist? That's our somebodies. The said is the verb on that rising action. Well, what happened? What's going on here? The top of that, our climax or our tower moment is the problem, right? That is the point with which the fool is like, oh shit. What is the challenge? You can say that or don't say that to your kids. It just depends on how old they are, I guess. But what is the issue? What's the problem to be solved? Okay. So that is our but. Somebody said what happened, but here's the problem. So belongs in the resolution. Here's the quest. Here's the side quests that come along with this when we're explaining to mom and dad how this story, what is the resolution for this character? And at the end of that, what is the outcome? That's then they lived happily ever after, right? Or then the lesson was learned that blank. And then there's our theme of the story. It's fun to have them, go through Netflix captions. All right, find the somebody said, but so of that. That is a way for us, if we're not journalers and if we just want to go, this is the shiz, 1818 on the timer there. This is the shiz that's going on. What's hidden in your moon? Double moon energy there with those 18s. Also a 99. What problems are not any longer one of the issues that you have to look at anymore? And then when I went ahead and underneath that fire energy of yesterday's environment, we have Star Seer. And look, there's this little character climbing up the steps into the star. So again, I can't, sorry to keep picking on Larissa, but those cards, you guys, we pulled the 8, the strength card. Okay, that's literally the center of that lemnis gate of balance. And the star card was right after it. That doesn't happen. That's the whole fulcrum. Okay. And on top of that, this luminescence was a 35, also an 8. I rolled an 8. She was the first person to guess an 8. So remember, you guys are all in that fishbowl with us, that we are creating the energy. So yes, I was addressing her particular what's this pause part here. But it's also for everybody that is here in our groups here on the Spiritual View and on my Learning Lovers tribe. it's not just picking apart and tuning out when someone else is getting a message. They all have something to do with a question or with what we're looking at as a collective experience. Okay. So I know that was wordy, but you've met me. So sorry, not sorry. I want to try something new with y'all and try to use this story structure to find out here what's going on. So what's your story, morning glory? And it's going to be, the context, of course, is different for everyone. But my suggestion there was for you, if you're not a journaler, start with the climax portion. Okay. What's the problem? What's the issue? You can fill in the blanks later. And then the bottom part of that resolution, the manifesting portion, the Empress energy, is what are the two extremes of that problem? Okay. So that problem exists. Well, we could go one way or another. Where's that middle point? Okay. And then that's going to lead us to our resolution. High Priestess energy there. Let's get a couple more shuffles in. Thank you guys so much. Peggy, I have lost count of the journals. I probably have 5 journals a year because I have my Channy planner. I got my new one, and they offered a yearbook this year, which is so handy because as you go through, if you know where all your placements are, and you do, if I've created a chart for you, you can go through each one of those and find out more about yourself and make notes in that. It is nice. They had them priced to bundle together. I'm not sure if the special's still going on. 6 of Cups energy there, 2 of Cups, the Moon energy. Again, let's not keep looking in those empty garbage pans or empty refrigerators when we know there's nothing left in there. I love that. All right, Ace of Swords, that's the truth. What are we still digging for gold for that we already know has come up with no gold? There weren't no gold in them there hills. Is that Beverly Hillbillies? Oh my God, I'm dating myself. Okay, 2 more. You just started journaling. That's amazing. Like, think of it as, some people go, I don't know what to write about. Write your somebody said, but so. That's it. It can be, it can be 5 words. All right. It feels like we're getting ready to get ready. Getting ready to get ready. Knight of Pentacles. It's a slow go. Okay. Are we slowing ourselves down here? Are we like, not so sure? Well, we did talk about it's a week of rest, like enjoy the lull. One more time, Hierophant there on the bottom, 3 of Wands. There's that manifestation. Okay. Let's go ahead. Card before the cut, the Hierophant energy. That'll be coming up in a couple days. Today's Tuesday. However, whenever you hear this message, know that there's something there for you because energy is cyclical. If you know your life path number, then I have created playlists. For example, if your life path number is 3, I have a life path 3 playlist. Every time it's been a 3-day, that's where that reading goes. So those are listed that way for you. Okay, card after the cut. There's those elephants. There's our 6 of Cups, something or a lesson or someone from the past coming into our present to affect our future. In this lull, elephants never forget anything, right? And this can be when we're tapping into that third eye. And when we have access, we've learned to meditate and find the pineal gland in that crown chakra opens up, right? So when we get into that third eye, when we find that spot, it is not a feeling you forget. So you know when you're there. So if you're not a sit down, cross-legged lotus position meditator, that's why I'm suggesting just take a walk, just be outside, put a frequency on when you're cleaning, right? If you have music on, there's things that you're not thinking, you're just doing. You're kind of in a driving mode, right? Driving, scary as that is a meditative state. You ever get somewhere and you're like, how the hell did I get here? You just weren't thinking. You just were you're being guided there, right? So you guys are coming up as the sun energy, all that fire there. Our sun lesson for today is the Sabian symbol of men cutting through ice. And the lesson of that is remembering right living as a spiritual discipline. We've got to incorporate that meditative practice so that we can see, so that we can listen to what our higher self is trying to tell us. The sun is the happiest card in the deck. You're like, Ange, I'm just trying to find my joy, okay? Just trying to find my joy. This also tells me that you are heeding advice of focusing on what we're thankful for. And the sun energy is that childlike energy. And here we are talking about, how to summarize things. So this is our protagonist here is us trying to find our happiness, trying to find our joy. What's coming next here? Okay, antagonist, Page of Swords, a nosy Ned, someone who is maybe through a lens of illusion here, past energy, because it's that crescent moon before we hit the first quarter moon. And I believe that was on Sunday we hit that first quarter. So our protagonist is someone talking some smack here. Maybe this is information that we do not love, could be the antagonist. Page of Swords is the researcher. Okay, it can also be some spying energy, and there's always a reason that, even though I'm blah, blah, blah to you guys, there's always a reason for whatever is popping in there for me, because see how he's looking back at you like, why do they get to have sunshine? Why are they so happy? People might just be noticing, like, what's up with them, because they see you happy. They are wondering how you got that. Maybe they don't. Maybe there's some judgment here of feeling like, well, what do you have to be happy about? That jealousy and your energy of, well, how did they do that? I want that. Why do they get to have that? It does feel like this is, it is an immature energy, but these are both children cards that usually feature children. So this could even date back, again, Leo energy and Mars retrograde. We're examining our self-confidence and we've developed that self-confidence, whatever level that is. How did we get there? Okay. And that could have even been from, words that were not so kind to us. That's kind of one of those, rites of passage. Bullies always exist. They don't go away just because we become adults. They just change forms. Bullies is an energy. It is a lower frequency devil energy because it creates fear. We can be our own bully. Okay. So what ways have our own thinking of not blank enough yet? Or again, this could be somebody making us feel that way. And you're like, stop raining on my parade, yo. Stop raining on my parade. I'm fixated on this mountain behind him because it looks like there's a big eye right at the top of that mountain. If you can see that above back there, maybe you're looking, that was my journal prompt. What mountains have you already climbed? What successes have you had in a challenge? And then rewrite that story, put it in the frame of, here was the issue. Okay, this was the top of the mountain. Here was the issue. Here's how it was resolved. But I had to balance these things to get there. You're going to know who that protagonist and antagonist is on that rising action. What happened to bring that climax there in front of you that needed to balance in order for you to resolve? Okay. So this is like looking back at past mountains. Like, Like what I said with Jen, you have evidence of where you've been successful before. Okay. You have been successful before. So no matter how hard things are, use those lessons from how we've been successful. And I was saying some kind of illusion. He's stepping on this sword. And these are poppies here in the bottom. So some kind of illusion. It might have been our own illusion of not realizing, oh my gosh, that bully said such and such, and that's been affecting me my entire life. And that's weird. I'm a grown ass person. And why would that still bother me? Because it's subconscious, right? It's still stuck in there a little bit. Let's see where else we're going. Okay. Oh my gosh. What'd I say? 10 of Swords. So some cowbird stole your nest. So somebody took your idea. Somebody, again, this can be in the past. I feel like either this is someone looking at you that is causing a 10 of Swords. Somebody took your idea. This cowbird is a real bird. It steals the nests of other birds. It takes their work. It takes credit. It pushes all of this yellow bird's eggs out of the nest and crushes her work. So what did they have to do? These birds had to become more, they had to evolve, and they had to start camouflaging their nests better. So the climax does give us a reason. That's the problem. What can we do about it to resolve it? Where can I balance out? I still got to make my nest one end of that opposition, but I don't want my work to get stolen. I don't want my work to get crushed. I don't want to self-sabotage. Where is the middle of that? Okay, this is going to take a little ingenuity, and nesters are going to nest, but I got to be able to protect my nest, my own home, my own ego, my own sense of self better. I've got to be able to do a better job at protecting. Okay. So this is the ending of some kind of, it could be negative self-talk. This could be just maybe you're journaling today about a lesson and where you learned about your own self-sabotage, or how you handled some kind of betrayal. That can just be a betrayal of words from, somebody we thought was our friend, and here they are, running their mouth, and we find out about it, and we're like, oh, wait, that's not very nice. I didn't know that person was like that. Well, when somebody shows us who they are, we believe them the first time. Let's see what else is going on here. 7 of Pentacles. This is a waiting energy. We pulled that yesterday. I forget who did. There is that spider energy of creativity. This is standing back, pulling up, and looking at all you've accomplished. We've done hard things before, guys. You have evidence of when and where your intuition was right about something, right about a time that you did follow it, right about a time that you didn't follow it. There was still intuition there regardless, right? So this is about standing back and looking at all that we've planted, all that we've achieved. These are pentacles that are already set in motion. Okay, so we work through this difficulty and we start planting seeds. My climax energy. And look, I'm coming up to the top here. Here's our tower moment here. That's that shock, that surprise, something that needs to be torn down in order to be rebuilt. We talked yesterday about the endings and not fearing something ending like it's not ever going to be again. It's just not yet. We need to make sure and look at all the pentacles that we've weaved here, all the seeds that we've planted along the way while we're waiting. Do include successes, and it does include rerouting and rethinking and relooking. When those pentacles, when those crops come to fruition to be picked, we go, okay, that was a little too much Miracle Grow. Or we had so much sun that year that it dried out the crops. Even if you do things the same way all the time, there are other elements involved that we have to account for along the way. We cannot control the weather. We can do all the best laid plans. We can do all the things right. We are all going to have towers. We can't avoid them. They're here for us, and not to break us down. It's just to show us what was not stable in the whole first place. Okay, so we'll get some individual information there, but there's our climax. So whatever is breaking apart here may disrupt the nest. It looks like this winter time energy, which we are here in the United States side of the world anyway. Let's see what else is happening. Let's come down to that falling action. So some kind of truth here is revealed. And look at that. All the bats, the sonar, the nighttime, that's high priestess energy. That's being able to tap into that pineal gland to have that aha moment. There's victory. This tower moment is showing you the way toward victory. And these are these white flowers are an energy of peace. And there's a little grasshopper here kind of hidden at the bottom of the card. All the stars in the night sky. Okay, these are steps into our journey. Star seer. I see the steps I need to take based off of what did work and what didn't work. And I can't account for every single thing, even if I planted everything I thought perfectly. Okay, that doesn't make it a guarantee that we get to avoid towers. There's still some kind of little morsel here that you intuitively already knew, because we've got these bats here regarding this star seer, and there's a big eye right in the center of her head. And over here at this page of swords, I was being drawn to that eye right above the mountain. Okay, so this is when we get to the top of this mountain here, we are seeing the truth here of why something had to crumble and why it had to crack. This is a dead tree. It's not giving off any life. When we are done with a lesson, and or a job, a relationship, context is always different, but the hero's journey, that cycle it's not a linear path. That's why there can be so many different elements to a story that have the same theme. So I'm providing the theme for this story. You guys can, along the way, fill in what the elements of each of these cards are. Okay, so we do have some players in the game, as far as court energy, court cards. The major arcana are those stops along the way that are, this is what this story is about. The minor arcana is the process with which we work through that story. Okay, let's keep going. This is kind of exciting. I'm not hating this format. There is that energy we saw yesterday. You've got to make a judgment call. Okay, so here's our climax. Somebody said and did. Somebody was a cowbird in our life, stole something from us, and maybe that's even, we see how much time we wasted because we were kind of self-sabotaging our own things that we had built. That happens. It happens to everyone because we are not aware of them. That's what the subconscious is, that moon energy of the 18. So we saw that yesterday with Liz's card of shedding the skin to something. We cannot avoid the changing of the seasons. And as much as that snake goes, I don't want to shed my old skin. It's happening. It just does. It's a process that is part of nature. That's just part of life. Okay, so whatever this is for you here, this kind of something that you already knew, or if you're looking back again to test out where the times you trusted and didn't trust your intuition, here are these here are these red flowers, these poppies again. That's an opioid. So we're shedding some kind of illusion or delusion. There is a red cardinal here, a masculine cardinal, that is writing on the back of the capybara in that page of cups energy. And this is maybe our friends going, it's time to change. I'm still here. I'm still going to love you no matter what. Change is growth. Growing pains hurt. It's pain for a reason, right? And this is getting by with a little help from our friends here. We're getting help through this transition or help with making this judgment call of whatever this but is. Okay. Somebody said, but here's the problem. So there's a judgment call that needs to be made. Okay. Oops, bottom of the deck. Next card, 5 of Cups. So judgment call regarding, do I live in this energy of regret? This is a death head moth, famous in the Silence of the Lambs story. Okay, and this is about, see how it's leaving? The death moth is flying away from what is broken here. This tree is dead. There's no life left from it. Those birds have no choice but to fly away from it because it doesn't have any resources. It doesn't have the resources any longer. And it's like, if this, whatever this story is for you, you knew this, or you know that now, or you're seeing that now. Okay. And it's like, I got to shed that old skin. I got to walk away from that lesson, or we've shed the skin so we can become anew because we learned the lesson. That's going to be depending on your own context here. We're flying away from a feeling of regret. We talked yesterday, regret is depression. It can come out as depression, and that is regrets of the past. But when we focus on the 2 cups, if you can see inside those 2 cups, there are lightning bugs. And that is lighting the new path. When we transform from that caterpillar state into the moth or to the butterfly, we leave that old life behind, right? We build new from the ground up. Beautiful. I mean, I hope you see the beauty in this story. And 6 of Swords, this is you allowing, you surrendering. Today is a path of surrender. Hanged Man, Empress energy. The Empress knows how to attract. And with that 3 of Wands we saw in the pre-shuffle and the environmental energy, now these mountains there don't seem so daunting because we've learned to go with the flow. Okay, we're learning to not fight the current. We're letting spirit guide the way. We're following our intuition here. Yay. I like me some of that. Okay, you go, guys. Like me some of that. Where are we going? Stop. Don't stop, Spirit. I love you. Look at that. The capybara. So even those silly YouTube clips of animals, those are messages. Okay. That is like, he was having so much fun. He was like running. He looked like, I was like, it's a cross between a pig, like an otter. Like what is that? Those are not animals I've ever seen. I mean, I've never seen a capybara in person. I don't even think they have them at the zoo. They might, but this is all about looking at this from a lens of love. Surrendering to what is, and stopping fighting ourselves or stopping the flow or trying to fight what our intuition is telling us. Even if we don't want to know it, we put resistance there, right? That's only out of fear of growth and change. And change does not have to be bad. This was dead. So whatever your climax of what is ending, so that some new beginning, especially in relation to love, self-love, that is here for us. This is our so. Okay. Somebody said, but This is what broke apart, and here's the truth of it. So we had to make a judgment call of whether we were going to wallow here in regret or whether we're going to be inspired to fly away into that new future through a lens of love and surrender. Wow. I'm impressed with y'all. Very, very nice. You know, I gotta be nosy. Larissa. Saying that again because underneath at the end of that story was the King of Cups. That is balance. That is head and heart agree. Head and heart agree. Okay. So following your joy. Okay. Even though there are antagonists along the way that try to spew us some bullshit, and steal our work or try to steal our sunshine. Remember, that is only them showing you what their wounds are. Okay. And when I teach about bullies, it is, how can you look that in the face and go, are you okay? That is going to stop them every time, because they expect to instill fear, and they're trying to tamp you down, right? Because that's what bullies use. They use fear. They use othering. They use insults to try to push you down to their level, because that's how they feel on the inside. Okay. And you don't have to fall for it. And it's like, we're seeing that now. We recognize it quicker. And you're like, wait a minute. I don't have to stay in that 10 of Swords. This is book ending here. I can quit resisting it. I'm just going to have to find the fulcrum and get smarter so this damn cowbird doesn't steal my work. And then we talked about on the teeter-totter, when we were kids, if someone was much heavier than us, if you were the little bird and you go flying up when that other person's side crashes down, it's like, can I say that, Spirit? Please do. Only if it's for this other person. And even if they're not, like, who's the lard ass that's trying to steal your sunshine? That's not, you're like, this is not any fun. When you come crashing down on the other side, maybe you're 5 and they're 15. I don't know. But it's just a heavier energy that tries to take your stuff, right? It's a life. The tale is old as time. So who's trying to harsh your buzz? That's what I want to know. Someone trying to harsh your buzz. Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2. I want to see these evening here. Yeah. Am I going to keep focusing on this regret of this betrayal? But I learned from it. And even if I try to make everything perfect in life, that is a trauma response, perfectionism. Even if we do everything right, guys, those towers come because something is not in alignment. You're never going to have an even ride with the cowbird. It's the lard ass harshing your buzz. It's metaphorical, okay? The 6 of Swords. Now we can go, those words are, I'm rubber or glue. Those words are going to just slide right off me, because that's not a mountain for me anymore. I don't take criticism personally. I don't take other people spewing their rage and their pain at me, projecting it at me. I don't take it personally. I just move right along. I move right along. And I go back to flowing in my energy. I focus on the 2 cups and my balance. And I focus on, okay, who are the partners that have let me ride on their back? Who are the friends and partners who I have helped by letting them ride on my back? That is an equal friendship. That is an equal partnership. Okay. Finding our autonomy solo within committed partnerships of all kinds. Okay. This is our resolution energy, and the Sun book ending here now, the Page of Cups leading to a King of Cups. That's some growing. That's some big time growing for that outcome. Here's what I learned, and here resolution. And here's how we went from the Page of Cups to our own King of Cups. The end. So the King of Cups in this deck, and I put a little whale on my thumbnail, and I said something about where are you making your splash? You're making a splash because you've learned the art of diplomacy. The King of Cups comes up above the clutter and the chatter and the turning up of all this foolishness. He rises above that and is still able to remain diplomatic. What are we balancing here? Oh, just our passions, just the magic stick. Maybe this is a King of Cups with a magic stick. You're like, wow, you're balanced, diplomatic, and you got this. I ain't complaining about that. And there are white lilies of peace from this creation. We were seeing there's this sword of truth. This is what leads to this, guys. Ace of Swords, Ace of Wands, R11 coming up in January of this. This is the end of this lesson. And if we have learned from those towers won't ever be as harsh again because we know that it's momentary. We just know that, okay, this is just something that was imbalanced. It was going to lead me down a path I did not want to be on. This was going to cause more imbalance. So this is here for me so that I can balance, learn how to give and receive the ride. I'm not even going to make the joke because you know what I'm going to say. Are you receiving the ride? I can't with me. Okay. Let's see. Creating a melody to step into a whole new era. The rhythm is the bass and the bass is the treble. All of these elements, all the elements of a song, every instrument, we've got to create a bass rhythm, right? Everything is a story, guys. Even the story of our lives. We've all experienced this story. When were you successful at it? When we had to encounter, that SOB so-and-so, or, someone that took something from us, someone that betrayed our trust, even though we did everything right. And we're like, but I'm not supposed to get no towers because I did everything right. It doesn't work like that. There's always something to be tweaked. Okay. But the reward, hello, the capybara is so versatile. You're like, it's a bird, it's a plane. No, it's a capybara. And I tell you what, that thing was so funny. It was like running and like jumping with joy, like a little pig, like in the water. It was having the time of its life, always enjoying life. Okay. And it's like, just put on, it doesn't matter what anybody else sees you as. It doesn't matter if they see you as a beaver or, a little moo cow, like I call Lola. She's shaped like that. That's how Bostons are shaped. It's like, it doesn't matter how anybody sees you. I am focusing on my joy. Okay. I'm a capybara, but if somebody wants to see me as a potbelly pig or, as a Boston Terrier or as a beaver, it does not matter a damn bit because I know who I am. That is what leads us to become a king in our own energy. Okay. And here comes all this creativity. Remember that Ace of Wands is it's a match, not a Zippo. So when we saw that page here on that book ending, right? We started with the capybara page. We saw the hanged man energy of that opossum. Where have we been asleep or played asleep? Like, la, don't want to go through this lesson. Don't want to see that this tower. Don't want to see that tree is dead, that it has no life left to give me. No lessons left here to be learned. We've got to see the lesson in that. And the lesson is trust our damn intuition. Right? And we know how to make better judgment calls. We know to not be scared of change because no matter how much we don't want to shed some kind of skin, we have help. We can find joy in that. It depends on what we learn to focus on. Okay. You can't fight becoming the moth. The caterpillar doesn't go, I'm not going into that. I'm not going. It doesn't have a choice, right? We must evolve. We must evolve. And in order to fly and become, have that transformation energy that we've been seeing highlighted this week, it's all about trust. Trusting that our intuition, trusting that our guides are actually there, especially if we're just learning how to do that. It sounds so, it does sound a little woo woo to people, and people that don't understand, people that prefer living in a fear state. I mean, that's not our business to get them, to force them to evolve into a higher consciousness, nor is it karmically responsible of us to do so, because then the tower affects us. If we insist on living in that dead tree branch, even after it's hit the snow, we're going to feel their karma because we're trying to get them to see something, right? I know that's a little crunchy. I know. It's like they just don't see their ridiculousness. And it ain't our job to teach them that. That's their own story. We cannot control somebody else's story. We cannot turn their head and crank it around and force them to see the error of their ways. If it's causing us an issue, if all we know is that they are stealing my sunshine, and we've already learned the lesson of, I told them something, my ear's going, I told them something, and this is for somebody here. I told them something in private and they shared my business. And not only that, they added this opium. They added this whole other element to the story that wasn't even true. It betrayed my trust. But I still I'm going to make them see how they did that. Say your piece and move it along. That was your lesson of, you can't control what comes out of somebody else's mouth, but you can control whether or not you trust them again. Right? And if they haven't done their growing, we don't stick around. We got to trust our intuition. We move through the energy quicker because we understand that change is inevitable, but we have to change our relationship even to that word and say growth is inevitable. We're not gonna stay a baby forever. Our body evolves, right? And yes, there is the argument, well, I know people that are 65 years old and they're a damn baby. Yeah, there are, because they're not conscious. But it's not our job to get caught up in their story because we have a story of our own. We got to keep going. And I'm feeling some of y'all's emotion on this, like, because that's where the resistance is, because it's sad sometimes. Again, it doesn't mean forever. It's just not yet, because this is not your lesson to enforce on them. Your lesson is to heed what you learned and to heed your intuition and to follow the signs of your own body. What feels better is to just ride along. It does not feel good to fight a current if you've ever been stuck in one. Okay? It's a panic feeling. But if we tune into the flow of it, what is this trying to teach me? That's being in the flow of it. That's where our happiness lies, is our own balance. Okay, our head and our heart agreeing. And it's not always going to be possible. Sometimes that doesn't happen until a new bat enters the ballpark. A new creative spark of any kind, something we feel passionate about. Okay, that's a way to kind of take ourselves out of just recycling that story for ourselves over and over again. Okay, let's see what's on the bottom of the deck here with this Six of Cups. Yeah. Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. It's closing time for the end of the year. It's closing time for this old lesson, this old memory, that thing that still hurts us, that still plagues us, that still gets us angry. Again, when we're in a place of neutrality, the anger's not there. It's I understand. I know why I had to learn that. I learned it. Thank you. Don't want to learn it again with another meat sack. Check the box. But this is not letting it just forever plague you. Moving from the 7 of Pentacles to the 8 of Pentacles. That is becoming an expert at this lesson of the past. We are letting it go. We are finally releasing the pain of this. Okay. We are following our own light. There's our Page of Wands. Both of our characters in the pre-story from our idea come back into the full story. Page of Wands, Knight of Wands, woohoo, look at you go. And your environmental energy, there's your swans, Kaylee. I know, didn't Peggy, didn't you say swans, is that you that said they remind you of your mom? We do have guidance, and there's your little cardinal of ancestral protection. And this knight has a full sun behind him, and the lotuses are back. So in the resolution, the King of Cups is the one to send out the Knight of Cups, your own balance, your own passion, you following the love, you staying in a loving vibration, you surrendering, accepting help that you have so gracefully given others, changes your energy. And this time, if this past energy circles back around, we're not looking back at anger on it. We go, I get it. And there's one more tiny little up at the top. This is a successful completion of the cycle, because guess what? Back from our Ace of Swords of Truth, our sonar, our High Priestess. There's that victory wreath again. Now, Mercury on my, what is it here? My deck, the Numinous, Mercury of communication is in Sagittarius right now. We're in training. This has trained us, okay, for this communication. Notice the bees there on that Mercury card. Words, thoughts, analysis, information, learning, trade, ideas, smarts, reporting, awareness, vision, lens. Even the ass hits teach us something, guys. We understand that really wasn't anything they had to say about us. It wasn't even true. They were just projecting their pain, and we took it personally. We took it as truth out of fear that they were right. They weren't not. They were not. You are right. You need to trust your own intuition here. That sun, that bumblebee right on. This is the queen. This is the queen bee sitting on that sun of that world card. And it is beautiful. With the grasshopper. Where do we have that little tiny grasshopper that was hardly seen? On the Ace of Swords as well. So at the bottom of the Ace of Swords, that little grasshopper, leap of faith, doing something differently with our intuition. We were talking about, this is so exciting. What is the story of when we did trust and when we did not trust? We use the storyline of when we did trust. Here's how it can play out instead. The successful completion of a cycle, bigger grasshopper, victory at the top, queen bee. You are mastering whatever this was from the past that you've never forgotten. We can look at it with a different lens now. We understand that it was part of this building, even if we did everything right, even if we were the nicest person, even if we were kind and gave everything we had to a job or a relationship. Okay, again, the context is going to be different, but the theme is the same. This was part of becoming an expert at this works, that didn't work. This works, that didn't work. What we can't control is the weather. Okay. There are elements that will always remain out of our control. And we got to be okay with that. That's hard to do, but you're doing it and doing it well. Well, LL Sexy Cool J coming in here maybe with that Knight of Wands. You finding your own balance. Page of Wands graduating from the page to the Knight. This idea turning into passion. The energy is picking up. Then coming into the Knight of Cups because it's been enlisted by our own energy. The Knight turns into the Queen Bee of our own happiness and turns into a King of Knowledge. This person will have to rise to your own vibrational frequency in order for you to integrate them again. Otherwise, if they ain't done cooking, you learn this and you're like, oh, I see you're still a cowbird. Well, until next time. What do you want to say? What do you want me to tell you? Like, I already learned that. I already learned that. This is another, it's very familiar. It's very similar, not familiar to an armadillo, but it's another animal here that does bury itself in the ground, kind of rolls itself up. They are coveted. They're very valuable, unfortunately, and why they're poached. Again, it's like someone wants to they're always going to have something to say when you're shining. Don't let them steal your sunshine. Four of Cups energy is like, I don't like what's going on, so I'm going to go underground. Okay. But understand this is our in-between time. If we're underground now, it's okay. You are valuable. Okay. And maybe we don't see that quite yet. Maybe this Knight of Cups, if they're not matching your energy, you can work with a Knight. If you're a queen and a king, you can work with a Knight. They've already established some kind of status here. And this could be your turn to carry a friend across their troubled water. Okay. It could be just your turn if they're going through it. Maybe they just want to Netflix and chill with you. All right. Let's get us out of here. I'm ridiculous. Okay. I want to get my fire deck here. Let me get, nope, don't think so. Nope. Okay, then. All right, fine. The Ascension lesson. What's going on here? Where do we start? Where are we starting here at the beginning of our story? Maybe even childhood. Where do we start at the beginning of our ascension compared to where we are now, Spirit? Hold on. I feel like I thought I saw a flipper beginning. Nope, that was a 360 instead of a 180. All right, here it is. The Electric. Page of Swords in our pre-shuffle, the creation. So creative expression. This is my way, a different way of sharing how I read energy. Okay. And how, if we can look at it at like a song, like a story, like a movie, like your favorite novel. Okay. Everything has a somebody said, but so we all have stories. And I didn't even see that come out. Maybe that was my flipper, but what was the purpose of this tower is our 1010 is to practice self-love, nurturing our inner child. That 10 turns to an ace. We've been talking about this the whole year, guys. Our shadow work having to reparent those parts of us that were wounded, even if it's just, the words that someone said to us that stuck with us that we didn't realize we're still kind of fumbling around in our psyche there. And we hadn't realized that, oh, that's what that was there to teach me. And as soon as that Ace of Swords come in, here's your new snake skin. We're not afraid of this growth any longer. Okay, so with creative expression, the 5-5 and the electric, there is a soul chariot there, a Merkaba in the center of that energy, and there are lightning bolts firing that up, maybe of this conflict here. So where is the collective here on their outcome? Let me know if you like this type of reading, guys, and I'll get these cards out for you, and then I'll come into the comments and see what's happening with you. But I'm going to have to grab my farsies the waysies. Okay, where is the collective now because of this? Expansive growth. Really? Expansive growth much? 4-4 energy of the 8. 4-4. Wow. Twin flame facilitator. Soul journey card here. Oh my gosh. Crossed by 4-4, matching energy. Another 8. The generator. Staying grounded. There's the Merkaba again in the center. We started here just with this electric energy, the music, the sound vibrations, raising our vibration, rising above, making the judgment calls that we don't want to, focusing on the light and what makes us happy and not being anxious, dropping the anxiety because we know to focus on the moment, to go with the flow. Expansive growth by staying grounded, and we have that matching 8-8. I do want to read the twin flame facilitator to you. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I miss you so much, and it's like you're right here. And when I was getting onto them, like I feel like it's been forever. I miss y'all. I miss the one-on-one interactions. All right, this is an olive green energy here. So if I've read for you before, and we use these cards, these colors, each color is a suit. If you would like a personal reading for me, so we could even pin down what some of the context is of your personal story, information's in the description box. Twin flame facilitator energy. We see a trine. Our number of the day is a 3. There are butterflies here and surrounding it. And it's like this whoosh of energy. It's like this 6 of Swords. It's like this going with the flow of the cosmos. So a twin flame facilitator shows up to keep you moving forward along the ascension journey. This connection mimics your twin flame relationship in a positive way. Similar to your own twin flame, they become a mirrored reflection, assisting you with connecting and expanding your higher self. A facilitator is unlike a false twin, whose primary role is to help you clear your lower self karmic patterns. Most often they are quote unquote awakened. They're more awakened than your true twin flame. Typically, a facilitator is someone that has yet to reunite with their own twin. Coming into alignment with them is divinely orchestrated. An orchestra, you say. So make sure to let go of outcomes and stay present. You are both stop hanging on to the dead tree, right? You're both elevating and expanding into multiple dimensions. So don't question or fight the process. It is for the greater good of all concerned. This card implies that you're encountering a connection with a facilitator. You have attracted each other because your souls are vibrating on the same energetic plane. Your energy exchange will continue until your soul frequencies no longer align at the same vibration, which will complete your mission together, causing you to go forward on separate paths. When someone's vibrational frequency isn't matched up to ours, and if we're not allowing the ending of that lesson to happen, that's when we get the towers of life, right? Going, this is okay. If you're not going to do it for your good, I'm going to do it for your good. And we just have a different relationship to that moving forward. This is removing the fear. So whatever, this can come in the form of friendship, guys. We don't only have one twin, we have thousands of soulmates. We incarnate with these same souls every lifetime. They come to us in different forms and different meat sacks, and they are presenting the lessons that we agreed with them to bring for us here this lifetime. Okay. And sometimes it's like when we've all done it. We've all clung to the bumper. I can still live in this dead tree. It's still fine. No, it ain't. No, it's time. It's time to grow. It is time to grow. Expansive growth. And we are staying grounded. We are staying grounded. Underneath that, high priest energy, personal empowerment. Can't make it up. All right, guys. I want to come say hi to you right quick. Thank you so much for being here today. Miss Larissa, Miss Kathy, Miss Brandy. Thank you so much. Love it. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate you. Miss Peggy there. I love how you hang with each other. There's Miss Joe's. Thank you so much, guys. I mean, you see what happens when we go live together here. This is y'all. This is your stuff, okay? This is all your stuff here. There's Kaylee. Thank you. Awesome. Did you come in? I wonder right when I forget what it was already, but I mentioned you at some point. I'm not sure if you were here yet or not. That'd be weird if you came in right when I said that. Not sure. You got the Mary Magdalene deck. Is that the one? That's the one Sari has. I can't remember. It randomly showed up. Wow. I love that energy. That's a beautiful, beautiful energy. It's the same vibration of the Kuan Yin that she was talking about. Yeah, absolutely. You guys are so fun. You crush me. I love it. Yeah, Kay, me. We laughed together. We love together. We laugh at the beautiful ridiculousness of life sometimes, and it gets us through those hard times, right? We get by with little help from our friends. So I see that you are indeed regulating. Maybe not the way that they were doing. And with our number, our today's date adding up to a 30 years ago was 1994. I wrote down, make your splash. Do be sure to check the notes and the journal props in there if you would like to practice your somebody said but so. And then, holy crap, when I looked up the information for the song, 94, and I was like, no way. That's when that song came out. I was living in New Zealand at that point. So usually we got music there faster than they would release stuff in the States. So Cappy Bar coming through all the way. Speaking of, I am heading to a friend's house that I haven't got to see in a little while, so I'm excited to see her. We gonna hang out and catch up and laugh our what's off, and it's gonna put me in I'm already in a great mood today, but I feel like you guys, you're taking the steps. I heard take the steps on that Jupiter, that luck. the bunny hop from yesterday, Jupiter's luck, and I was getting the bunny hop song, of connecting, putting your hands on the shoulders of the person in front of you and finding that joy. Wow. Just wow. You guys' energy is so beautiful. I just love it. All right. Well, we are going to head out now. Definitely rewatch Kaylee because it was quite the story today. I did something new, so I hope you guys like the format. It was just, I was like, let's go ahead and see if we can put this in a storytelling mode. So do let me know if you enjoyed it. Do let me know if that's something you would like for me to do again. And until we meet again, keep that vibration high. Keep your hearts full, and know I love you so much and appreciate all the love and support you show me. Thank you for liking. Thank you for sharing the video so that other people of like mind can access the same information. And not only that, so they can access you, so they can see how much fun y'all are having and how much fun it is just to meet for me to watch you guys support each other. Whoever you know needs that support and would vibe with the tribe, please do share. Please do share, because that is your light, that you can, that's a little thing we can do. It's a beautiful way to share and make this energy expand and compound upon itself and become exponentially beautiful. So I bid you adieu and thank you very, very much. Goodbye for now.